Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks so much for being here, for being subbed. If you're not, hit the button. And if you're listening on YouTube, hit the like. It's like walking in the room and hitting that light switch. Let's brighten up the place and get into this podversation. Man, when I tell you the news is just not flattering for this clown in any part of the internet and the news world where they actually have sense for Hotel, because it seems like since he wanted to try to be on the warpath to destroy and dismantle Melody's character, other entities are now coming out and they are sharing news that he's just not going to like. And I just think it's a great thing. The U.S. Sun, they shared some information, an update regarding him being ordered to undergo a psych evaluation. And I say kudos, because this is what I have been saying for months on end now, that I believe that he displays psychopathic tendencies. And I am by far not even close to being a psychiatrist, psychologist, a therapist. I am a beauty therapist. I'm a licensed esthetician, so I do have the title of a beauty therapist. But in terms of diagnosing mental health issues and disorders and diseases, I definitely can't say that I can do that. But this creature and the things that he has displayed, that I believe in real time that we have been able to see on the show, has been very disturbing. Abusive tendencies, abusive behaviors, that just the things that we've been able to see. We haven't been able to see everything, but it has been extremely disturbing. So I want to share this article with you guys from the U.S. Sun. The title is Nasty Divorce. Love and Marriage Huntsville's Martell Holt ordered to undergo psych evaluation after ex accuses him of abusing kids. Martell, 42, and Melody's divorce battle has gotten even more nasty as Melody, 38, has grown more concerned about his alleged erratic behavior and inappropriate treatment of their children. Now, I want to pause it right there for a moment. Melody being 38, him being 42, he proposed to her on the day that she was graduating from college, right? Doesn't that sound strange to you guys? He definitely was an opportunist, and he was preying on her. Preying, not praying to God, but preying like a predator on his prey, which was Melody, because he definitely saw something in her that he saw was going to be an opportunity for him. He's just a freaking disgusting clown. So the story continues. As of December 14th, 2023, the court has ordered Martell to undergo a psychological evaluation after the mom of four filed a motion demanding he submit to a psychiatric examination and evaluation ahead of their trial in April. According to Alabama court docs exclusively obtained by the U.S. Sun, Melody informed the court that the mental, psychological, and emotional stability of the father is at issue. The filing stated, based on the father's recent erratic behavior at the minor children's school, practice, and other public places, as well as his inappropriate, unhinged, and erratic behavior toward the mother and the minor children, a thorough and complete mental examination and evaluation of the father is essential to the court's decision regarding important issues in this case regarding child custody and visitation. She argued that his actions are detrimental to the physical, emotional, and mental well-being of the children and fears that the children have already suffered emotional damage as a result of Martell's irate and erratic behavior. In the same filing, she claimed, this is what they said, Sheree Whitfield's ex continued to use corporal punishment against their minor children. Now, what they're claiming is not funny, but I find it funny that they are calling him Sheree Whitfield's ex. Not calling him her ex, meaning Melody's ex, Sheree Whitfield's ex. Wow. She gave an example that on December 11th, 2023, he allegedly threatened to, quote, tear them up once their divorce case is over, referring to their minor kids, and said in a separate filing from December 14th, 2023, that he even offered to allow the children to be on the television show Love and Marriage Huntsville if he could use corporal punishment in the future. So we know that he was being vindictive by not wanting to have the kids on the show because he couldn't get what he wanted, because he saw that as something to hurt Melody. So the courts ordered that neither one of them could have the children on the show and share them on social media accounts, because he did it to spite her. So he was basically saying, well, if I could beat the kids' asses the way I want to, then yeah, you can have them on the show. Like, what kind of stuff is that? It's just psychotic. The former couple have 4 kids together: daughters Malia, Mariah, Milani, and son, poor child, Martell. Ugh. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I know that the child is definitely not guilty in these situations, but to have this child named after him, it's almost like being named after a curse. I'm just going to be honest. That's my personal opinion. Not speaking anything negative about the child, because again, the child is innocent. It's definitely not the child's fault. But Lord, I mean, anyway. The TV personality is also the father to another child, son Knox, with a woman who has been identified as his mistress, Ariane Kyrie. They need to stop using that title, mistress, because it gives a lighter feel to a whore that was sleeping around with a married person. And period. All right. Story continues. Third time's a charm. Even though the ex's divorce was initially finalized in March 2021, they went back to court the following year to modify their custody agreement. Although everything was thought to be resolved, Melody filed a new petition in July 2023 to modify legal custody and the visitation schedule, mainly due to Martell's alleged, quote, mental and emotional abuse of the minor children. In the filing obtained by the U.S. Sun, the Behind Every Man host claimed her ex continues to use corporal punishment that is excessive and abusive towards the minor children, including but not limited to choking, grabbing, punching the minor son, hitting all the children, pulling and twisting them. The father has refused to follow the court order as he has stopped therapy between him and his minor son. I want to pause it right there for a moment. People can try to act like Melody is just doing these things because she's angry and she's being vindictive and she's trying to paint him in a bad light. And the people who love to say, oh, he's a great father. He might not have been a good husband, but he's a great father. Save it. I don't believe that Melody is lying about these things. This man, if he is this way with the mother of those children that he was married to for all of those years, I'm sorry, you cannot tell me that he is not being abusive and excessive in punishment, quote unquote, with the children in some aspects. Because let's just be clear. I'm not someone who is against spanking a child if the child needs it, but I'm not one of those people who feels like everything that a child does you should be spanking them for. Definitely there is a line when it comes to spanking and being abusive. So never should a parent put their hands around a child's neck or throat to choke them. Punching, that's abuse. I'm sorry, I just do not think that Melody is lying about these things or playing these things up to gain sympathy or to try to make him look bad. I just do not believe that she's lying about these things. It's just like people who have been unfaithful. I say this all the time. If someone is being unfaithful in their marriage and they're sleeping around with other people, don't tell me that you're having safe sex, okay? Because you're already being deceitful. So don't Don't try to act like you're an upstanding individual. Well, yeah, I was lying. I was sleeping around on her, but I was practicing safe sex. No, you're not. So if a man who was married to a woman all of those years could be abusive, excessive in the way that he treated her, unfaithful, disrespectful, all of these things, I'm sorry, you cannot tell me that that person is also, well, they may be a bad husband, but they're a good father. I just don't agree with that line. That's me sharing my thoughts. You're free to leave yours in the comment section, but I am sorry. I just don't believe that. Sorry, not sorry. I'm not sorry. All right. Continuing. The filing continued. The father continues to incorporate corporal punishment on the minor children that they only want to see their father if he will stop hitting them. She also said he exhibited behavior that has been negligent and unstable and has shown a lack of proper parenting when it comes to his care for the minor children during his custodial times. I believe it. I just believe it. I don't believe that she's doing these things to try to gain favor with the courts or to try to gain the sole legal custody and having him just have some limited visitation. I believe every single word, and I've said this before. I felt like she should try to obtain full custody. And if he does have visitation, I feel like it needs to be supervised. I said this before. So knowing these things now, I was spot on. And so we continue. She also said he exhibited behavior that has been negligent and unstable and has shown a lack of proper parenting when it comes to his care for the minor children during his custodial times. And in addition, she gave examples of some of his threats, including reportedly saying he will knock them out. These are little children. Like, what could they have said or done to warrant him saying something like that to them? And also him being a man and having 3 girls, 3 daughters and 1 son with Melody. And that little boy, he doesn't strike me as the type that would do anything that would warrant him feeling like he needed to speak to him like a man. Nothing. Let's continue. Apart from being concerned about the children's mental well-being, she said that she's concerned about Martell's mental stability since he continues to relocate, has violated previous court orders, and has even threatened to distribute a sex tape that the parties created during their marriage. This cretin is disgusting. Continuing. Given all this, she requested the court only allow him daytime visits with the kids until he enrolls in therapy and anger management. Martell fires back. Martell responded to Melody's filing 4 months later in November and also filed a counterclaim against her. Instead of addressing the motivational speaker's specific corporal punishment claims, he instead claimed she is the one who willfully and contemptuously violated the order by spanking the minor child, MH, age 3. He also said that she filed the modification, quote, in bad faith and with unclean hands, explaining she has continuously filed frivolous, untruthful motions so that she may be in control of all decisions regarding the minor children. The OWN star goes on to accuse, and they wrote in the article Melanie, so obviously, anyway, Melody of violating their agreement of not filming their children and also posting about them on social media, which is a lie. He claimed her bringing them into the spotlight has financial gain since, quote, she believes it to be in the best interest of the children to be filmed as it would provide them economic opportunities. In her December response, they again wrote Melanie, but it's Melody, denied his, quote, frivolous accusations, end quote, in reference to the spanking. And as far as the economic opportunities, she said that she believes in affording the children with every opportunity that is beneficial and desirous of the children in aiding in their success in life. Until their April trial, the court has ordered the former couple to attempt to resolve their issues through mediation. When it comes to a psychopath like Martell, there is no mediating. You cannot come to a resolve because it's his way or the highway, and we know that his way is the highway to hell. So you cannot mediate with somebody like that. It's fruitless. It's a waste of time, and you get nowhere. Continuing, the U.S. Sun has reached out to Melody and Martell's attorneys for comment. So far, no comment. Shocking arrest. After all this went down to court, news broke that Martell was arrested for third-degree domestic violence and harassment on January 9th, 2024. According to TMZ, he had a warrant out for his arrest after allegedly sending harassing communications to his accuser, who has not been identified. That dated back to August 2022. Now, we know that that was definitely regarding Melody and the threats that he was making via text message with the screenshots from the video that he claims there is no video of. But like we discussed here, a screenshot is from a video or from something you're searching online, and you take a screenshot of it to take a picture. You don't take a screenshot of a picture. He tried to say it was just a picture. There is no video. We know that's a lie, because he admitted on the interview that he did with the other vlogger that he sent a screenshot. So anyway, whatever. He was booked into Madison County Sheriff's Office and was released about 3 hours later after posting bond. His publicist told the media outlet at the same time, Martellholt adamantly denies any intentional harm or harassment towards the accuser. We believe that these allegations are the result of a misunderstanding, and we are confident that the legal process will ultimately vindicate Mr. Holt. Martell remains committed to being a devoted father and maintaining a positive and healthy co-parenting relationship with Ms. Rogers and Ms. Curry for the well-being of their children. The statement continued, despite the challenges presented, Martell will continue to focus on his role as a responsible parent and contribute positively to his community. Martell is due in court next month to address this matter. So yeah, guys, that's the article from the U.S. Sun, and he's just going down in flames. And I say burn, bitch, burn, because he is not fooling anyone that has good sense. I've talked about the article from Blavity News via Yahoo, where the person who wrote the article pretty much called him out, said that there's nothing that he can do to try to paint Melody as the villain when we already know who the villain is in this situation. The U.S. Sun is talking about it, talking about him having to be ordered to undergo a psych evaluation. And trust and believe, if they didn't see fit for that to be a thing, we wouldn't really even be talking about it right now, because it would have just been a request from Melody's side of the court, and it would have just been like, no, there's no there. So, that's definitely not something that we're going to even be, we're not even going to be entertaining that. But he clearly has issues, and he has exhibited some dangerous behavior towards his children. This is not the run-of-the-mill situation, typical, where people like to talk about, oh, well, Black parents, they spank children. Not every child needs to be spanked or beaten, if you will. But there definitely is a line. And when parents like him, who have literal mental issues where they should undergo a psych evaluation, they don't need to be disciplining anyone. I'm sorry. I'm not saying they shouldn't say, no, Milani, don't go next to that stove, or, something like that. But you just have a bad day, you're angry with the world, you're angry with their mother, you're angry because your life isn't going the way that you wanted it to go, you're angry with your own decisions, you're blaming everybody else for the things that you are experiencing in your life, you don't need to be beating your kids. You don't need to be spanking them or disciplining them, because you're taking out your anger and your frustrations out on the children, and that is when it becomes abuse. It's dangerous. You can't tell me that those children are doing anything that deserves a spanking, or definitely them getting punched, boxed, choked out. Like, that's crazy. These are little children. We're not talking about a Martellholt Jr. being 18 years old or 17 and a half or whatever, below the age of being an adult. And he's disrespecting his dad so much. He's like, nigga, F you or whatever. And he's like seeing him as like an adult, and they're the same size and height or whatever. Like, come on now. This is a little boy. There's nothing you can tell me that child could have done to warrant him doing the things that he has alleged to have done to those children. And I believe every single word of it. And the reason why is because we've seen the behavior that has been displayed, that has not been edited out, that we have seen on the show, and the things that he's shown of himself on social media, recording the children, having conversations with them about how bad their mom's parental skills are, and who taught you how to do this? Who taught you how to do that? Talking about how the mom doesn't do this. And like, he's trash. He's a trash parent. And honestly, the only thing that I can say that Melody did wrong was choosing this cretin that she chose to be with all of those years and have all of those kids with them. And that's why I believe she says over and over again, she doesn't regret her children, but she wishes that she had her children with somebody else. He is a nightmare that she's living. And by the grace of God, she's not suffering in silence anymore, maybe, if you will. Maybe she suffered in silence for a period of time, but she's living the best life that she possibly can. She has a lot of people that like admire her, adore her, support her, will, pretty much buy anything that she puts out there. And that is something that's helping to benefit her financially, so that she doesn't have to depend on him to be able to support her and her children. And that's a great thing. But because she has to deal with this clown until the last child reaches the age of 18, I just know it's just like, this is hell. And I'm not wishing anything on him. But I'm quite sure there are a lot of times where she was just like, God, I'm not trying to do anything to him. I'm not even asking anybody to do anything. But it would be nice if he just went to sleep and didn't wake up. Just sleep in heavenly peace. And I don't even see him going to heaven. But I'm just saying, I am so glad that outlets are calling this behavior out, because more people need to speak to this. And anytime somebody shines a light on it, I'm going to speak on it. So guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Thanks for being here, for liking and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until next time, wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.